How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 25 called Chambergo 2k25. We're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, "Welcome to Chambergo 2k25, a European-style map created for FS19 and missing from FS22. Now returns with the improved version for FS25. Get ready to enjoy a wide variety of fields and uneven terrain with all the features of this latest version of Farming Simulator. The map includes 90 farmlands available for purchase, 51 fields including 7 meadows, fully equipped pre-built farm, workshop, silo, diesel tank, missions, transport wood, cut down dead trees, and crush rocks, multi-angle terrain, a large space to build your own farm, collectibles 25, pre-built pens, cows, pigs, sheep, and horses, pre-built factories 20, logging area with over 800 planted trees, Scots pine and poplars, pre-installed vineyards and olive trees, 3 new products, cherries, apples, and sportswear, pre-installed cherry and apple tree plantations, 2 PGAs east and west, multiple retail outlets, 11 lime seed and animal feed stations, 6 large forests. A map for precision agriculture has been developed. Info: all areas, farmlands where factories, corrals, farms, and vineyards and olive tree plantations are located can be sold, bought at any time. There are mods required for this map, and they are the low-cost grain silo by Shaba VSR Modding Sir, and the olives plus olive picker by Raleigh Christie 1 VSR Modding Sir. This map was created by Shaba and is 328.11 megabytes to download. If we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. Whoops. There we go. This is what it looks like. We start out down here on our main starting farm, and we start out by owning farmlands number. Actually, let me go back here, take away that, and go to farmlands. We start out by owning farmlands number 30, 31, 32, and 99. 31 is a wheat field that is ready to harvest. 32, I'm sorry, 30, yes, 30 right there is a wheat field ready to harvest. 31 is a canola field that is growing. 32 is a field with no product in it, and 99 is our main starting farm right here. Field prices on the map do vary, but for the most part, they're relatively expensive. You can see here, we do start out with some small fields if we want to. 38,000 for this one here, going up next door to 362,000, 317,000, 344,000, 254,000, 231, 282, 423, 317. I mean, you do get some variety, but it's, you don't get a lot of starting variety. It's pretty much everything over 100K, and that's, yeah, it's pretty expensive, going forward. Do get some forestry areas, 172,000. We got this big area up here for 346,000, 103, 154, some down here in the south as well, 119, and 296. You cannot purchase all areas of the map. You can see like down here, if I back out, you can see like this animal dealer area down here. You can't purchase that area here. This little town strip here, you do get all these little dots in and around places that you can purchase. Those, a lot of those are the production points that you're able to purchase. You do not start with any animal pens. Contracts are available on this map. You do not start out with any productions owned, but they are available. Most of them are actually hiding in the background. There's only one, the Playground Maker Hall, that is actually kind of pre-built into the map that you can purchase through traditional means. Otherwise, you actually have to purchase them in the map menu itself. And then for collectibles, you do have collectibles available, 25 of them to be precise. Now, what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to go ahead and buy all the areas around the map that are going to be referenced for later. And I'm going to display a list to show off all the different areas, what they are, what farmlands are associated to, and the prices. So that way we can kind of get a good general understanding of where everything's kind of laid out on this map. So I'll cut us out here, cut us back in as soon as that's all done. All right, so I'm pretty certain I have everything here all purchased that will have pop-ups behind them, whether they're productions or anything along those lines. So let's go ahead and go to this so you can kind of see all the various different production points. So it's a pretty big difference between what we have and what we have now versus what we had to start out with. A lot of stuff is hiding behind the scenes here. So what I'm going to do next is take a look at mods specific to this map, and then we will start our... Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do mods specific to this map real quick, and then we'll take a look at the breakdown of the list. So let's go ahead and start out here under the buy menu. Under the mods and DLCs, you'll see that we do have the olives plus olive picker, but we don't have any mods specific to this map under the buy menu. Then under the build menu, starting out here under our buildings tab, we do have one here under sheds. You'll see a couple actually that have the Chambergo 2k25 mod. Those are mods that are specific to this map. There is nothing under silos, silo extensions, constructibles, containers, tools, or farmhouses. There's absolutely nothing under the productions tab, animals tab, or decorations tab, but under the landscaping tab, if we go down to the painting, you will see we have several additional painting swatches to base game. Nothing for trees or plants. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the map here real quick, and I'm going to overlay all the farmlands, the prices, and what is on said what is on said farmland in order to show all the stuff that was purchased. And I will go ahead and read off the list of all the individual stuff, starting with the biogas plant east for $65,107 on farmland number 68, biogas west for $72,345 on 69, cement factory $15,168 on 70, sawmill on $35,251 on 71, garlic garden for $6,336 on 72, spinnery $11,731 on 73, textile workshop and distribution $11,942 on 74, soup factory $30,739 on 75, paper factory $7,987 on 76. We have the bakery, $6,508 on 77. Cereal factory, $11,750 on 78. Oil mill, $10,348 on 79. Preserved food factory, $41,625 on 80. Grape processing unit, $13,804 on 81. Grain mill, $9,081 on 82. Sugar mill, $14,380 on 83. Cooper, $20,774 on 84. Dairy, $6,854 on 85. Potato processing plant on $23,481 on 86. Carpentry, $20,352 on 87. Cherry tree plantation, $11,212 on 88. Apple tree plantation, $10,617 on 89. Cow barn and manure heap, $100,147 on 100. Pig barn and manure heap for $67,910 on 101. Sheep barn, $59,328 on 102. The horse barn and manure heap, $19,891 on 103, and bunker silo for $13,248 on 105. So yeah, tons and tons of stuff all together. All that stuff that you purchase is $892,616. So it is a massive amount of stuff that you can get, but really for less than $1 million, you can basically buy all the production points on the map. It's pretty impressive. Actually, short of the playground equipment. But we do start here on the starting farm, so let's take a look at our starting equipment. Starting here under this tab, we'll go to vehicles, and we have the Agromaz Aquila Drive 400, our seeder, the Amazon ZATS 3200 fertilizer spreader. We got the Abbey 1600 water tanker, the Albert pallet fork, the Claas Avian 450 harvester, the Claas Vario 620 header, the Flegel ASW 271 trailer. We have the Horsch Mistro 975RX planter, the Horsch Partner 1600 FT. This is the front seed fertilizer tank. We've got the Hauer XB150 front loader, the International Series 200 truck, the Krone Vendro 820 Highland, that is our tedder, the K-Brand Prolander 7500 cultivator, the Nardi N40BX header trailer, Pottinger Faro 4010D, the forage wagon, Stima Treas trailer. We got the same Virtus 125 RV shift. We got the 10 Winkle Pack 1000 weight, another 1000 weight, Zader Crystal HD 170, the Zunhammer ULT 18 basically slurry and digestate tanker, and that is it. So let's go ahead, we'll bring up the map right here so we can get that. And now let's take a look at what we have here on our starting farm, starting with our sleep trigger right here. And actually, let me do something really quickly. Turn that back on, turn this on. Perfect. Sleep trigger was right there. We have our wardrobe trigger right there. Nope, if I can get off the gate. Over here, AI helper Walter. Over here, we have our main silo, and you can see we got a ton of crops that are in here. Soybeans, corn, oats, wheat, sunflower, and barley. Over 25,000 liters of each product, which is really nice to start out with. Now over in this area over here, we have our fuel tank right there and repair trigger right here. And that's basically it for the main starting farm. The rest of it is just mainly storage. You've got tons and tons of storage on this farm. You can see it's all kind of built in to the hillside here. This is the lower portion of the farm right there. Let's go ahead and head back up towards the house where we can grab our truck and start around the map as a whole. So we'll go way over here. There's the truck. Let's go ahead and hop in. And let's take off. Make a left down the farm. We'll get around the bus. Coming up over here. Make a right. And our first point of interest outside of the farm is the soup factory. Wrench right in front of me. You got the output and input along the side right there. Get turned around. Oh, hey. Yeah, so I went through the list already of all the different, places that you can purchase, the prices and all that stuff. So we're not going to show that at each individual location, but what we are going to do is at the very end, we're going to show off all the production points on the production menu screen in order to kind of give them the highlight, because there are some things that are in there that aren't part of base game. We have our spinnery right here, wrench, output, and input around the back, right there. Right here we have the dairy. We have the input right there and wrench right there. Now, unfortunately, I have not seen a spot for the output. Maybe under this awning to my left right there, but I'm not certain where it spawns from. Maybe one of these tanks, you need a tanker to be able to pick it up from. I just don't know. Oh, took that sign out. Let's see, to my left we have AI helper Ben right there. Over the bridge. Right here we have the garlic garden. Now right here you can kind of see the glow of that green emblem there. Now this is where you put in your inputs right there, aka your water. The output is down under the awning and your wrench right there. Come up and around. Just keep following this up the hill. And now here we have the animal dealer sell point. AI helper Katie behind the pillar right there. and the animal dealer itself. So if you want to purchase animals for your pens and pastures around the map, go ahead and come to this location. You can use this icon here or this same icon at any pens and pastures listed around the map. If you use this icon directly, though, you will incur an additional fee. That fee is associated to a delivery fee. The animal dealer is taking the animals from this location and delivering them for you to wherever you have your pens and pastures set up around the map. Now, to kind of illustrate this, you'll see an adult cow will cost you an extra $100 per adult cow. To be able to fill this up, an extra 173 cows that they would deliver would cost an additional $17,300 on top of the base price of $203,000 plus. So that adds up really quickly. Now, to save that money, you can bring an animal trailer to this location, park inside the hazard box right here, and then use this dialog box with the trailer parked inside of it. It'll then load the animals into the trailer. You'll then be able to transport the trailer around the map and deliver the animals yourself. Now, along the side over here, we have the feed distribution buy point. Now we need to come back down. Make a left. Now come up here, and we'll make a right. We'll just follow this bend to the sawmill. Right here, output right there, input directly in front of me with the wood cell trigger right behind it. Back around here, we have AI helper Noah right in front of me, and to my left, we have the wrench for the production point. So now, I'm going to make a right and continue to follow this road around to our next point of interest. Need to pay more attention to my driving, less to my notes. I follow this road up into the next intersection, coming up here to my left. And now we'll follow this road out to our next point of interest, directly in front of me here. You'll see tucked away back here, we have the sugar mill sell point. Now we'll backtrack just a little ways. Continue going north. All right, now follow this to the left. And now this next point of interest is going to take a little bit of explaining. So right up here is the stone crusher. This is a generation point that is going to generate you a whole bunch of stones. Now the problem is that this actually resides on the part of the map that you cannot purchase. If I scroll over to the farmlands, you'll be able to see it is at a point I should not be able to pick this up with normal conventional base game equipment. Now you can use some modded equipment such as the forge pickup or I think it's like the municipal buckets or something like that. I forget the full name of the mod. But you can bring those specific bits of equipment that can pick up off of property that you do not own, and then you'll be able to pick up the stones. But this is just going to generate until the capacity is full, and then you just need to empty it out one way, shape, or form. But hopefully the map maker will be able to come through here and adjust this where you'll be able to pick it up after purchasing that land that it sits on. The next point of interest is just around the corner up here. We are at the Biogas East production point right here. Let's see, we have our liquid input, liquid input, solid input, our wrench, and liquid output right over here, aka our digestate. Now we follow this down the hill quite a ways. Gonna have to do some snaking through the wood line here. As we continue to follow this down. And get back onto the pavement. We'll follow this a bit north. Now, tucked away back here is the grape processing unit. We have our wrench, our input, and our output is under the awning right over here. Now I'm going to backtrack just away to this intersection and make a right. And now we're going to follow this out just a little ways. Out to here, making another right. And now we're going to head quite a ways to our next point of interest. Coming up here, we're going to have a split in the road. We're going to follow the split off to the right. Go. Now tucked away back here, farmland number 105 coming up here to my right. That is one of the purchasable areas in order to be able to use this bunker silo. Now across across the street right over here, we have the farmer sell point right there. And across the street, we have the sheep barn. Let's see. Stop right here. We have 10 sheep, room for 149 in total. Feed goes here, and as you can see, wool spawns right here. Now immediately across the street is the gas station right there. We'll head into the roundabout and we'll make a right. We got AI helper David to my right. The dairy sell point right here. Follow this back here. The vegetable cooperative sell point is right here. And then back here we have another production point. This is the textile workshop and distribution production point. Input there. Let's see, wrench back here with the output also right behind me, right there. Let's see, we'll head back out towards the roundabout. We'll take the second exit. And directly in front of me is the Cell Station Slurry Sell Point. Broken up into a couple of sell points, but it's all the same naming convention. Across the street. Back here is the Lime Station buy point right here. Now I believe this is a kind of cooperative silo right here, so you can put in and out your various goods. And right here we have the cooperative sell point. Now we'll kind of head out of this complex. As we get to this intersection, we're going to make a right. And now we're going to follow this along to our next point of interest. Now around this curve, across this bridge, we'll see our next point of interest right up here. This is the sugar mill. Wrench right in front of me. We got the output and input right there. Let's continue to follow this road down. And starting to come into view will be our next point of interest. Here to my right is the paper factory. So we got our input to my left right there, output right here, and under the awning right there we have our wrench as well as our wood cell trigger right there. Now over here is the one place on the map that I can tell where you actually have to buy it via conventional methods using the wrench. This is the Playground Maker Hall. This is one of the sell point / constructible areas, and you can purchase it for $150,000. So you can use it as a sell point until you purchase it. Once you have it as a purchase, it'll then build out all the various playground equipment that it can make, and then once it produces the final product, it will then sell it off and you get the final sale of the product. Now over here, tucked away back here, we have the oil mill. Wrench directly in front of me, as well as the output right there, input right there. Bakery is right there to my right with the wrench, output, and input right there. Now coming up here to my left, follow this in here, we have the shop trigger directly in front of me. And then the repair trigger is right back here. So now let's hop back on the road, making a left right there. Now coming up here, we have the farmer's market sell point directly in front of me. And we continue to follow this around. And around this curve right here. We follow this road all the way out till it dead ends, tucked away way back here. Back here is the Cooper. Input right there. Output in the back right there with a wood, not wood cell trigger, the wrench right back there. Now we got to backtrack just a little ways. As we continue to follow this road, back to the main road right up here. Take a left. Just down the street, right here, is a manure heap and the horse pasture, where you have room for 16 horses. Oh, and feed goes right there. Now coming up here, just beyond the tunnel here, That is the back side of the main starting farm, the lower elevation of the farm. We'll just continue to follow this all the way out towards the edge of the map. Now tucked away back here, whoops. This is the, I'm looking at my notes, Preserved Food Factory. That's what this is. Output is right there. Input in the back over here, and the wrench right there. And now we need to head back to the main starting farm because we're going to actually use it to kind of cut through and get to the higher level. Whoops. All right, so right here, make a left. We'll follow this up. There we go. And now, cross the bridge, looking over our farm. Follow this out and around. To back here, we have the cereal factory. We have an input there. Just go back here. Output and wrench right there. Now backtrack just a little ways until we get to this part of the road. We'll follow this. Alright, so just across the bridge. Over here, we have the Biogas West. So we have our solid input there, our wrench, liquid input, and liquid output, aka digestate. Bunker silos all throughout the complex here. Whoops, oops, oops, oops. And now we need to follow the kind of back road down the windy, twisty bit. Make a left. And back here, we have the pig barn as well as the manure heap right here. We have room for 773 pigs. We have 10 of them to start. Oops, where am I going? That's where I'm going. Now follow this up here. Back here we have the cement factory input right in front of me there. Wrench and output right there. Now we need to backtrack quite a ways actually to get to our next point of interest. Go. Continue to head past the biogas. And coming across the bridge here, I want to get around this grove to my right. And right here, I'm going to follow this 2-track just down to the lower section back here. There we go. Follow this out towards the edge of the map. It's right back here. Whoops. We've got the grain mill. So output for the grain mill is right there. Input with the wrench. And over here to my right, that is the grain mill sell point. Coming up here to my right, our next point of interest, this is the cherry tree plantation. Water goes here, output there, and wrench right there. And down the road a little ways. Oops. Looking at my notes again. Alright, coming up here to my right, that'll be our next point of interest. See it coming up right there. Biomass heating plant, cell point right there with a wood cell trigger. Oops. Easy. Make a left. Now follow this down. Just past this intersection here, make a left at the potato processing plant. Right here, we got our input right there. Turn around, wrench there, and output right there. Another gas station across the street right there. And now we're gonna hit our second to last point of interest. Tucked around back here. We have another one of the plantations just around this corner here. We have the apple tree plantation. And again, we have our water go there, wrench, and output right there. Now let's turn around and check out our last point of interest for this map. Okay, so under the bridge, heading long out to the east. You can see the last point of interest coming up there to my right. All right, bunker silo directly in front of me. And a cow barn with a feeding robot. So you can see the mineral feed goes there, silage, straw, and hay. Manure heap. And all the cows. We start out with 10 of them. We have room for 183. And that's it. That is everything here on Chambergo 2k25. Now it's time to render my opinion, let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. I really like this map. So before I get into what my grading is, I've got to kind of confess something. There was something that was just bugging me about this map. There's something, it's like, I feel like I recognize this. And I know it said in the description, oh yeah, this is, you know, something that was out for FS19. It's like, man, why can I not remember Chambergo? Like, I don't remember the map at all. Like, I remember the map, I remember the feeling and like, playing on something that was at minimum similar to this. And then it dawned on me, wait a minute, maybe this wasn't called Chambergo. And then I got to thinking, like, what map was it that was like this? Because it started, like, every synapse in my brain was like, you played this map, you played this map, you played this map, you've done something with this. And then finally it dawned on me. It dawned on me what this map was on FS19. This was Chamberg Valley back in FS19. And it took me so long to finally realize, whoa, this is that map. And wow, did this map not disappoint? So when I look at maps like this, these kind of revival maps, where we've had them in the past and now we have them here again, I look for it to be, having all those kind of tastes and familiarities that we're used to from the previous iteration. And this map hits that note, and it hits it pretty hard. Like, I remember so many of the terrain specs and the undulations, and what I really, really, really remembered was this farm. This starting farm is probably just ingrained into my memory something fierce. So much storage, so much going on here, and you can really kind of lay out and expand it any way you see fit. It's really kind of sharp how this farm kind of works. But then you get to thinking about, okay, well, what about kind of the intangibles away from the kind of starting farm and all that stuff? Well, I mean, the map itself is just gorgeous. The undulations, top notch. The color palette, again, really nice. There's really only a couple of different colors that you'll see in the wildflowers category that really kind of makes it stand out. But really, outside of that, it's really toned down, which is nice, because if you have too many colors, in my opinion, then it gets to be that kind of cartoony effect that it's just like, oh, it's like you just kind of, showed up at the scene of a movie kind of thing. But this one's really kind of toned down, and it's really nice because of it. So all in all, I really like what I'm seeing here. Now, the only thing I'll say that is kind of kind of a downer in my opinion is up here in the northwest corner. I vividly remember this corner of the map because I used to be up here all the time. What this used to be was a mine. It was a giant mine with tons and tons and tons of stones. But now it's a kind of forest, like a plantation kind of forest. And yeah, it's no longer a mine, which is kind of disappointing in my opinion. But it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. But it's just one of those where, man, I would love to have come back on here and done a ton of mining out here. I think it would have been so much fun. But like I said, not the end of the world. But really, outside of that, this is really spot on. We have that kind of remembrance, like, oh, I remember this, I remember that. But it's different enough to be kind of fresh and new and exciting. And I really like that. I really like that about this map. I mean, just so many different things are just firing off for me personally. Just remembering all the fun I had back on FS19 on this map. And again, you can see a lot of undulations exist on this map. There's so much going on all around this map. It is incredibly detailed. The sell points and production points have tons of details. You got all these cars and cones and all this stuff around buy points, like the gas station right there. You've got all the kind of mountaineer work that's done here. All these kind of hills and mountains and stuff. It's like the town, whatever this area is just cut into the stone and the mountainside. And then you get things like this. Is just absolutely gorgeous. This little lake that's right here. I mean, oh, and the waterfall effects on the side of the water here. I mean, just absolutely top-notch kind of stuff going on here. I absolutely love it. The return of Chambergo Valley is here. So what do I think of this map? 0 to 5 scale as per usual. I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. I loved this map back on 19. I am falling head over heels all over again for 25 Chambergo Valley. Or Chambergo, nope, 2k25. That's what it's called. It's no longer Chambergo Valley, it's Chambergo 2k25. Now, before we cut out here, what I wanted to do is take a look at the production points. As you can see, we have the only one available is the Playground Maker Hall, but we have all of these. Check this out. So we've got our apple tree plantation. We put in 12 water, we get 6 apples out. We got our bakery, which again, bread and cakes, that's what we're used to. Biogas, we're used to all those, east and west. Our furniture factory, we can just make our various inputs to make furniture. Cement factory, again, only makes cement bricks. Oh, I'm sorry, doesn't. This one makes cement bricks, then cement bags, and then roof plates. Didn't mean it only makes it. We've got our cereal that we can make. This one, again, is a new one. We've got our cherry tree plantation, water in, cherries out. We got our cooper where we can make our barrels, bathtubs, and buckets. We got our dairy and all the various inputs and outputs for those. Garlic production. So this is our garlic garden. So this is basically a greenhouse where we could produce garlic in our normal greenhouse, but this is limited to only produce garlic, which is kind of cool. I like that. We got our grain mill here, so we got our various bits of flour coming out, as well as our rice flour, grain processing unit, our oil mill, which does our canola oil, olive oil, rice oils, and our sunflower oils. We got our paper factory, our potato chip factory, our potato processing plant, preserved food factory, our sawmill, soup factory, spinnery, and this is going to be important later. So we can do our cotton and our wool. That's all fine and dandy. But this, check this out, is basically the textile workshop and distribution is our tailor shop. Basically, that's all it is. But we can make clothes and we can make sportswear. That's kind of cool. It's a nice new output for this particular product. And again, you're not breaking the bank on any one of these production points because for the most part, with the exception of the biogas plants, they're all under like 70 grand. Biogas plant, Biogas West is 72,000. Biogas East is 65,000. Those are by far the most expensive production points. Most of them range between $5,000 to $30,000. Like it's dirt cheap to do production work on this map. And that's awesome. I like that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And you're going to be able to really start transforming and making this map into something special. And it already is special. So yeah, I really like it. And yeah, I hope that you can tell that I really like it. And I also hope that you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. The shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. That being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.